guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm still here at Porsche Clearwater in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? I have that first OG of Porsche SUVs right next to me. It's this vehicle right here. This is your 2024 redesigned Porsche Cayenne. But before we get into this carmine red mid-size Porsche crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. I remember the day when Porsche announced that they were coming out with an SUV, and I freaking dropped to my knees and said, why, oh why is this happening? Well, guess what? It makes sense, because if it wasn't for the Macan, which is the smaller crossover SUV, and the Cayenne, who knows where Porsche would be today, because it's all about having those sales at the end of each year. Now, the Cayenne has been very successful, many different iterations of it, but they made some big changes for 2024, not only on the outside, but also on the interior. Now, when it comes to a mid-size crossover SUV that's luxury sport, there's a lot to choose from. One of the main competitors to this vehicle will actually come from a sister brand, the Audi Q7. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this bright red Porsche Cayenne and see, is it the better new sport luxury SUV you should be buying? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the color. I love carmine red, not as much as the classic Guards red, but still pretty darn good looking in the Florida sun. Now at the front of the business, you'll see how they reshape things over the years. The headlight housing, very angular with our quadrant of LED daytime running lamps, projector beam headlight, but still very Porsche-esque. We drop our way down, functional, not fake, but functional corner air intakes for the heat exchangers. They actually have the LED lighting built in to one of the horizontal splitters. You have a second one, and then working our way all the way down, we even have functionality on the bottom portion. And that's one of the things that I love about Porsche, is that it's not just about the style, but it's also about the function as well. Now, as we come across that raised nose, very Porsche-esque, you of course have full functionality with your active aero shutters. They redesigned this lower bumper area to give you a little bit better approach angle when you're parking. But let me know what you think about the front end of the vehicle. I think that they definitely did a nice job on the revision, made it more Porsche-esque and made it less rounded, like a jelly bean on the front of it. Definitely has some really nice purpose to it. Now, as we rise up, that beautiful carmine red with the classic Porsche crest. Do you see that horse there? Let me tell you a little story. You may not believe me, but that is the same horse that is on the Ferrari logo. You look at how coat of arms were taken over. It all goes back to history with the Italians and the Germans and that family crest being taken and eventually winding up on a Ferrari. But still, that is the original from Stuttgart, Germany. Nice, easy rise in the center. Everything else has a great flow into the rest of the hood. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get these Heritage Classic spec wheels, machine aluminum, 5-spoke design, very simple, but definitely, like I said, gives it a nice overall look. Behind there, these ginormous calipers with the Porsche name on it, flat black. This is a 22-inch wheel. Tires are 285 on the width, 40 series sidewall. We do have, of course, the Porsche active management system. And I think one of the other things I love about the side of this Porsche, everything is body color painted. So nice to see that. Working our way down, carmine red on the mirror caps. Your LED turn signal is really slim, 360-degree cameras. You're gonna have your solid panoramic roof. It's not opening, but it is a panoramic roof, solid glass. Simple gloss black trim, kind of blends it all in. Color matched door handles. And then some flat black on the lower side skirt extension. I'm okay with that because that's closer to the ground. Will take a better beating over time. This is rear wheel drive base, which is nice. And like I said, you're still gonna get the same great 22-inch wheels and braking capability. The only difference is guess what? More rubber to meet the road. 315s on the back of this Cayenne. Now when we spin it around, look at how it's nice and clean. No rear wiper whatsoever. You have that long roof spoiler, looking good. And then you have this gloss black kick-up on the back end with some active aero. This will pop up at speed. Love the LED lighting, the Porsche name all blacked out. And then dropping it down to ground level. Look at this. We got the sport exhaust with the quad tips. I love the quad tip extensions. Nice, simple on the lower bumper area. And I'm okay with this portion being flat black. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this Porsche. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts to hold it open. Not a lot to look at underneath the hood because there is a lot of black plastic. But what do we have underneath all that plastic? We have a 3-liter V6 twin turbocharged engine. It's 348 horsepower, 368 pound-feet of torque. It's made into an 8-speed automatic with Tiptronic shift. 0 to 60 in about 4.7 seconds, top speed 156 miles per hour. The vehicle gets 17 mpgs in the city, 23 on the highway, and it weighs 4,922 pounds. So obviously, this is your entryway into the Cayenne family. You can get these with a ton more horsepower, depending on what you want. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Cayenne Coupe. It's interesting how this has become a thing where you have your standard crossover SUVs, but then you also have these coupe styles that are a little bit more sleek. But I guess the big question is, are you going to be sacrificing on interior space? Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, it's that time. I've worked hard. I've always wanted a Porsche. I'm going to have to go with an SUV just because I need a lot of room and a lot of daily drivability. How much is this one? So this Cayenne Coupe, Carmine Red, the way you see it, has an MSRP of $113,000. Let's see how it stacks to the competition, to the door panels. A little bit of gloss black, but I do like that silver aluminum trim. You do have 3 memory seat settings, which are nice, and the door panel is covered in leather, including the armrest there with the stitching. Door pocket is large enough easily for a foot-long sub, meatball with extra parm, and a large bottle of Mountain Dew to wash it down, and we have the Bose premium sound system. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, you'll see how they restyled the AC vents, that aluminum style trim. A little gloss black heavy here, but you are able to get an optional 10.25-inch screen for the passenger. This is what they get, though, when there's no screen there. Just a bunch of gloss black. Now, as you slide in, you have your over 10 inches of infotainment system, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. We could get into our different drive modes, our chassis setup, lower the vehicle. We got Sport Plus, which is really nice. All of those different things that are very manageable, all by the press of a button. You can go into assistance, your trip information, very fast reacting, your AC controls. I throw it in reverse. Backup camera, very, very clear. We got trajectory and we got 360. So they got you covered every freaking which angle that you're looking at your Cayenne. Working our way down, of course, our AC vents, all manual controls, which is nice. This little guy right here is going to control your 8-speed automatic. And then working our way back down, a bit of gloss black, but I think a lot of people are going to have this door open because you have wireless charging, USB-Cs. We have our digital readouts for our dual climate control, 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats. Shut all of that off. Let me put on recirculate, a real volume knob. You got a place easily going to put, I would say, 4 small packages of now and laters, 2 cup holders, a 12 volt. We have our Porsche key fob. Looks great with the Porsche crest on it. Leather with the stitching. Open it up. Enough room in here to where you might be able to put, I would say 8 Twinkies. If you put 9, you're gonna bust cream all over this beautiful interior. Seats, the leather, you got the Porsche crest in the headrest. Love the perforated leather. Nice bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, and you have these 2 oh crap handles. If you're the driver and you're holding on to both of them, you're probably in an oh crap situation, which I wouldn't want to be in the car with you. So hopefully you have your hands here. Like I mentioned, you do have that fixed panoramic glass roof with the power shade. Too bad it's not one-touch operation. That would have been nice. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the leather-wrapped steering wheel with the Porsche crest in this Cayenne. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. 3 memory seat settings for the driver. Like the black aluminum sill with the Cayenne script. Illuminates LED at night. There's all your seat controls. You could adjust it 20 different ways from Sunday. I'm 6 feet tall. Plenty of room in here. Plenty of room. Steering wheel. I feel like it's out of a Porsche race car, and they do wheels so great. The nice stitching. You got your drive mode selector knob. Easy thumb controls. Metal paddles for that 8-speed automatic. They decided to just put a start-stop button on the left of the steering wheel to fire this thing up. It is a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you do have that beautiful digital display. You could put your maps in the center. You can see when I go into the different modes, it shows up, including off-road mode, which is interesting. And then I could also scroll through different information in the center there. I'm gonna keep it on vehicle information, but I like the way it's got the maps there. And you have a head-up display, which has a tachometer in it. That, to me, is good information. But let's get in the back seat. And since this is a coupe, make sure that there's enough room back there for your passengers while they're in your Cayenne. Let's get back there. All right, guys, backseat time. And the magical thing about this vehicle is that even with the coupe slope back design, still plenty of room in here. I'm not even close to the headliner, let alone the glass panoramic roof. You do have the smooth backs. I hate these cargo nets because if you put a dagger or a sword in this, it'll rip right through it. So not my favorite, so that is a zonk. You get dual climate control in the back. 3 stages of heated seats, but no ventilated seats. To me, that's a zonk at this price point. I would like some ventilated seats, for God's sakes. 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs, and a place to put your pickle. Once you're done playing with it, you can put your pickle in a bag in there for when you're hungry. And then sitting here, I like the way the AC vents are in the frame and they're down below. It's actually quite comfortable. Pull this guy down. Ugh. Got it. Just enough room for my arm, 2 cup holders. But let's get into the cargo area and see if you're sacrificing there for the Cayenne Coupe. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area. Just hit the button. Nice electric assist. You're going to be greeted to a substantial amount of room because this is a 2-row crossover SUV. You're looking at 27 cubic feet of space with the seats up, 60 cubic feet of space with the seats down. When you fold them down, lift this up, you do have a spare, which is nice. And you do have, of course, your required Nürburgring Nordschleife Twinkie holder. You could actually put a box of Twinkies in there, no problem. Plus, you can make adjustments from the, I'm actually lowering the rear of the vehicle from that air ride suspension. That is nice, especially when you have those big heavy groceries. Maybe you bought the world's largest watermelon and now you need to get in the back of your Cayenne. But I don't know about you. If you're ready, I'm ready. We have this carmine red Cayenne. Let's go for a little spin and see how it drives. All right, guys, we're leaving Porsche Clearwater. We're in this carmine red Cayenne Coupe. Right away, I love the changes that they made to the interior. It was a long time coming, but the new infotainment system screen, of course, your digital gauge cluster. The one thing I just want to get rid of is all that gloss black over there. I wish that they could have done something a little bit different with some other kind of material rather than gloss black. But with that being said, the visibility out the windshield is phenomenal. I love the head-up display with the tachometer in it. And these seats are so comfortable. They're supportive and comfortable all at the same time. Really did a great job with setting that up. I do have it in sport mode. And like I said, this is the entry-level Cayenne, so you're not getting a twin-turbo V8, but I still feel like you're gonna have plenty of power, because here we go. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Nice smooth shifts from the 8-speed. And the cornering is really, really phenomenal. That's the thing you're gonna notice. Very minimal body roll, and the way that the air ride suspension and the adaptive suspension works with one another gives you a confident ride, but also a comfortable one as well. The dash is such a thing of beauty to look at. I got the Google Maps up in the center there, all my auxiliary information, and you're able to see it super clear through the steering wheel, which isn't always the case with certain cars. Passengers in the back have plenty of room, plenty of AC controls, just no ventilated seats, which to me is a little bit of a bummer. A little bit of a bummer. But with this being a mid-size sport luxury SUV, it actually is really nicely sized. Not too big, not too small. And then you're getting all that great cargo room because we don't have a third row. Don't need a third row. You have plenty of cargo room, which is wonderful. But let's go on throttle. Are you ready? We're gonna get out on the highway and do a little bit of on throttle experience. And then we're gonna see how this Cayenne handles a little bit more. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. 8-speed drops down and you're off and running. I mean, able to get up to speed with no problems, no issues. And you'll notice that even with the larger diameter wheels, you're not getting a lot of road noise, which is nice. The feedback to the steering wheel is great. And just, you're getting it all, right? You're getting the Porsche legendary status. You're getting all this great performance, and you're getting great usability all at the same time. Love having the chrono clock on the dash there. And like I said, just everything well laid out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the shifter again, put it into manual shift mode, and that's gonna allow me to use the metal paddles to go up and down that 8-speed automatic transmission here. Really I mean, look at this, handles so well, so composed. Are you ready? We need to go on throttle. I don't know about you, but I need to go on throttle right about now. On throttle, here we go. So it would be nice to have more horsepower, and the great news about that is you can get more power. The good news is that the power delivery is pretty linear for a turbocharged vehicle. Obviously, with this being twin turbocharged, you don't have to wait for the boost very long. And the gearbox is really a slick shifting 8-speed automatic. Nobody's behind us. I want to go on throttle from a dead stop, first gear. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Look at this. This is Porsche performance right here. How it handles. Very, very nice. Look at that. Little bit of sound for the twin turbo V6. I would like to hear a little bit more, I think. And that's the thing is you can obviously option it different ways, especially with the exhaust. But still, the gearbox is a thing of beauty that shifts by itself. Or if you want to use the paddles to go back into drive, you just hit the shift lever again, which is on the right of the steering wheel, puts us right back into drive. But I mean, the fact that you're in this legendary manufacturer of a vehicle and you have easy access to everything really makes this a pleasure to drive and to be around. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to Porsche Clearwater and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day in so many ways here at Porsche Clearwater. Definitely want to thank Larry and the rest of the crew getting us access to this Carmine Red 2024 Porsche Cayenne. Let me know what you think. Are you liking the changes? Are you liking the style? Are you liking the performance over the competition? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. We need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography. You know what? There was a snake that fell out of a tree and landed on Stephen's hat, and he still did not falter. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do, especially to our Slytherin fans that come out of trees. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.